Okay, Robby here, Dodgy Garage, mobile DPF cleaning. This is a Citroen DS4, I think. And the lady says that the engine management light is on, which it is. Nice blue hue. Let me just turn the radio down. Okay, and I've already dialed into the vehicle and brought up the relevant information here. So let's just go through it and diagnose what's going on here. Okay, amount of additive in the additive tank is 995 mils. In other words, there's about a liter of Eloy's fluid that is Eloy's fluid in the tank. Then it says average distance between last 10 generations is 199 kilometers. Cinder count and particulate filter 100%. So in other words, it's saying that the particulate filter is full. Then it says difference in pressure between particular emission filter output input 1 millibar. So typically we want that between 0 and 10 millibars of pressure at idle. Then it says the all important thing, distance remaining before replacement of particulate filter is 0 kilometers, that one there. So there's a timer on these vehicles, and it's a distance timer, and when the vehicle reaches a certain distance, which here it seems is 584 kilometers, is the distance since the filter was replaced, in other words since new. The timer has run out, it's at 0 kilometers left, so the car is programmed to say that it now needs a new DPF, but the pressure in the DPF will dictate whether it needs a new one or not. Also, distance traveled since last regeneration is 3 kilometers, so it's recently done a regeneration. See if there's anything else of any interest. Okay, weight of additive deposited in the particular filter 25 grams, and then total weight of soot in the particular filter is 1.7 grams. Typically you want that below 6, and that's, in other words, that's fine. And then it says here volume of the additive reservoir is just over a liter, but it says there that it's still got a liter of additive in the tank. So I don't know if that's been filled up or not, but we'll look at that. Okay, so believe it or not, the only thing that I need to do here is tell this car that it's got a new DPF and change that to, they usually come back with about 180,000 miles before, or 180,000 kilometers once it's been reset. But this car, let's start it up and look at the pressure. Okay, so there it's got a DPF. Let me show you there. There's a DPF warning there. Just turn that volume down again, and then the pressure in the DPF is 10, 11, 10. So this DPF is actually fine, and I'm not going to put a cleaning through it. All I'm going to do is just reset it. Putting a cleaning through there, I'd charge the customer an extra £90, so I'm not going to do that. So let's go back here, go back to read fault codes. So this fault code here, P1490, particle filter detected overloaded. It's not overloaded. Additive adding. Okay, the quantity has exceeded the threshold, which means again that there's too much additive in the DPF, and it's not. However, there is a EGR fault there. I don't do that, so this car's going to have to go to another mechanic. So the customer will get this video that I'm making, so they'll be able to see everything that I'm doing here anyway. Right, so next thing is we've got to go back. We then go to special function. I'm going to switch the ignition off, switch it back on again, just close the door, pack repair, replacement parts, where are we? Turn the radio off again. Okay, so replacement of particular emission filter. Carry out this operation only after replacing the filter. So switch off the ignition, off, switch on the ignition. Learning completed. And I think, believe it or not, it's as easy as that. Okay, then we go back to read fault codes. Those 3 fault codes are there. Then we clear DTCs. Okay, so the only one that's still there is the EGR fault code. Let's just go back, read data stream, and then we go to exhaust line information, select all. Let's have a look and see what it says. Alrighty, so because it's now been reset, average distance between last 10 regenerations is now at 500 kilometers. Cinder count and particulate filter 87%. The pressure will be the same. It's now got 32,200 kilometers after replacement of the particulate filter. Sometimes when you start the engine up and everything, it should give you 180,000, but it's only at 32 at the moment. So that total weight of additive deposited in the particulate filter, 25 grams, that's still there. I'm going to go backwards and forwards and do some clearing. That needs to change, I think. And then the total weight of the soot in the particulate filter is now at 0. Believe it or not, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to start the car up and do some other checks, and I'm going to come back to that exhaust line information. Okay, and so I've done some more resetting, and I've told this car that it's got a new DPF for a second time. And so what it's done is it's now changed the distance from 32,300 to the 180,000 kilometers. So this vehicle is now good to go for another 180,000 kilometers with that very same DPF. Distance traveled since last particular filter replacement, 0. Since last regen, 0. That weight there of the additive deposited into the particulate filter is still at 25 grams. That's not changed. But either way, we're good to go. And I'm just going to start up, see that pressure again. I'm not going to be doing any cleaning here. 12 millibars of pressure. It's a little bit high, but it doesn't warrant a cleaning. Okay, and we're down to 10. The car's still cold. Rev it up. $2,500. We're at 40 millibars. This DPF is fine. This DPF is just fine. That's it for today. Believe it or not, everything has now been reset. Let's just check fault codes. Probably, there we go. See if we can clear that. that fault code's not going away, it's staying there. But apart from that, believe it or not, for today on this car, that's it.